Had to blow the side of the mountain out a little bit farther. Here by the sawmill, we're putting in a elevator to get rid of sawdust. So needed a little more real estate to get this installed. So cut the mountain back, rebuilding it now, get some rock formations in there, and then we'll get the elevator set here in place. Had to take up track, be putting in new track. Okay, I've got some plaster here that I've made up some molds. I just use regular, the old-fashioned plaster like you used to plaster houses. I buy it in big bulk bags. It's a whole lot cheaper. And then I'm just going to put it here on the wall. So I just take some plaster that I've mixed up, butter the back of it. Stick it on the wall. Got another one. Butter the back of it. This plaster hardens up. It'll be very, very hard. And then I'll just take some plaster and kind of mold it right around the edges, and that'll help hold that. In place like so. Then I'll go back then with some washes, paints, and blend that in. But that's kind of get the gist how it works there. Pretty simple. Okay, I've got those all blended in, attached to the wall. Kind of hard to see, they're all white, but that'll all be brought in. I'll add some more up here at the top, and that'll look like a big rock face up there. Got all the hillside there rocked in. Ready, got just a little bit of paint on it, stain. Got the elevator building in, sawdust to go in, come down in a hopper car, fill up, haul the sawdust away. All out of the little sawmill here. So we'll do a little staining of the rock wall. Acrylic paint, got burnt umber that everybody uses, and burnt sienna. I just mix it up a little bit here on a cheap throwaway plate. Add a little water to it. A little wash on. And you can just kind of go however dark you got a spot you want to make a little bit darker. A little bit lighter, add a little water to it, dip the brush in water. Getting a little too light. And we'll do a little time lapse. Okay, so on that time lapse, that probably took, I don't know, maybe 5 minutes or so to do this part right in here. Just acrylic paint and some water, just wash it on a little bit. Kind of, you know, out in the real world, the under parts right here would be a little bit darker because of the shadows. You know, you wouldn't get any sun under there, so those would be a little bit darker underneath, and then a little bit lighter on top. But you know, as in nature, you see almost anything in nature, so whatever, it's kind of hard to make a mistake here. And you know, as in the earlier part of the video, these are just the rock molds. I just use regular house plaster because it's, you know, I buy it in bulk in big bags. It's quite a bit cheaper that way than the Woodland Scenics small bags. I've got a larger layout. It's 24 foot by 26 foot, so there's a few 100 pounds of plaster on here. And it started this years ago, where, you know, did a lot of plaster, do some styrofoam now. But I wanted these rock castings right in here, so used plaster. But I'll get this stained in, washed in, whatever you want to call it, and then some ground foam, some scenery on there. That'll turn out pretty good. Got a little bit more done. Just a bit of a update. Rocks are coming along. I think the color looks pretty good. Still got more to go over here. Then I'll have to figure out how I'm going to blend it into the old original part. See, right in there where that'll blend together. This right here is the part that was all knocked out for the sawmill elevator. So, until next time, see you later. The sawmill expansion is finished. All the rocks in, stained, new track work. Added an extra track, so now we have two sidings at the sawmill. Needed an extra one for the elevator, haul the sawdust off. I think the rock work turned out, that's the best I have done in rock work. There's the sawmill. What do you think? Come out pretty good. Took a while to get it all tore out, all put back together. Summertime gets here, don't have as much time.